Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cardinal Rough Rider Coach and Advisor meeting. I want to go through just a few things so everybody is on the same page. This first page is also found in your coach's handbook. It's an onboarding for coaches, what needs to be done in the coaches form. The first thing is if you're a newly hired member of our coaching staff, advisor staff, meet with the business manager, Kendra, when hired to make sure you get all that information into her that she needs. For head coaches, you'll need to fill out and do the online rules clinic. Again, there's a link there. We'll also share that with you as well. Online rules meeting, that's just for head coaches as well. Same thing, you'll find that in Dragonfly when you log in. Head coaches need to do the North Dakota High School Activity Association and fill in the picture, cut line, roster, and schedule for your team. For all coaches, NFHS Learn, complete the foundations of coaching. Again, you just have to do that one time. Complete concussion management, should be done every 2 years. Complete CPR certification, must be up to date, and same thing with first aid. And then coaching resources, you'll find those in the athletics and the Washburn public school site. And again, you'll find the coach's handbook, parent handbook, dual sport form, all of those things there. So if you need anything, you'll be able to just click on that link when I share the links with you, and you'll be able to find those things. Also, bus certificate, bus physical at Focus Clinic. Again, the school will pay for that. A defensive driving course. You'll need to have that. This will be given in the fall, or you could also take it online. And also, everybody will get a coach's handbook. And if you don't have one, make sure you let me know. Expectations for all of our teams and activities. Well, you need to have fun competitiveness. Leave with a smile on your face most of the days, and teach that competition is fun, and whatever we're doing is enjoyable. Is it going to be enjoyable 100% of the time? No. Okay, but we have to fight through some of those times as well. Teach concepts and build positive communication. And when we're talking about that, teach by doing breakdown drills and make sure kids are prepared for whatever competition they are doing. If you teach them during practice exactly what they need to do and what they need to know, you don't need to do much in the game. Also, practices, whatever practice, should have amp up the energy. Make sure everything is fast paced and enjoyable, and show that you're excited. And we also want to make sure that we build good citizens as well. Sanford athletic trainer, she'll be, and that's Lacey Feist, she'll be in Washburn at least 3 times per week. We will have a training room this year right next to my office. And again, if you have any questions or there's any injuries, please talk to Lacey. We've had this for a couple of years now, so students that go out for 3 sports or 3 fine arts will end up getting an award, trying to get more people involved in more activities. And then if you do that for 4 years, you will end up getting a blanket, and the kids will have an elite athlete or an elite fine arts award if they do that for 4 years and they've went out for 3 fine arts or 3 sports. Now, chain of command. What should happen is students should talk to the coach first. It's not always going to happen. A parent talk to the coach. If they don't get satisfaction, then they need to talk to the athletic director. If they're not satisfied, then they go to the principal or superintendent. Again, same thing with the coaches. If you have a question, come and talk to me. And if you don't get an answer, you can always talk to the principal or superintendent. But we should end up making sure we stay under the chain of command. Purchases. If you would like to purchase something, please talk to me. We will end up filling out a purchase order if it's in the budget. And to purchase anything, the activity director will need to fill out that purchase order. Fundraising and donations. Again, you'll need to fill out a form on this. And the main thing we're trying to do here is make sure we don't double up on something. We don't want 2 or 3 groups selling pizzas or something like that. We want to give everyone a heads up on what everybody is selling. Now, we also have the Washburn Athletic Bus cleanliness rules. And when we're talking about the cleanliness rules, You know, there's different things for bus drivers, coaches, players. We just want to make sure we stay on the same page. We want to stay away from any ice cream or frozen desserts so they end up getting all over the place. Only drinks with covers or caps, no cans of pop, those type of things. So if you could read through that, that would be great, and make sure that we follow those guidelines. Travel. Students are expected to travel to and from events on a team bus. If you plan on having your child ride with you after the game, you must talk to the coach, and obviously you'll probably sign something, a scorebook or something like that. If you plan on having your child ride with another relative after the game, you need to talk to the office or myself. They need to talk to the office or myself well beforehand, a day before the competition. Students are not allowed to ride with anyone besides parents or pre-approved close relatives. Students leaving for activities. We always are battling this. Washburn athletes are students first and athletes seconds. It is their responsibility to visit with the teacher and get missed assignments before they leave for a school activity. And then they should be done with that activity when they return to school class the next time. So it's just as if they are in class if they are in an activity. Now, bus barns, we've had to lock away some of our keys in that for our cars and vans and minibuses. So the code for the old bus barn to get in is 7137. The code for the new bus barn is 5857. The code for the key lockbox is 1928, and then you've got the number symbol. Now, those things, if you need the key for one of the vehicles, those are in the old bus barn, that key lockbox, and you just have to do that and then return it to that box when you are done. Make sure it's locked up. When you purchase gas from Enterbase, make sure you get a receipt, sign the receipt, and what organization or sport it's for. Place the receipt in the bag in the vehicle console to make sure we can keep everything organized. If you have any questions about any of this, just please let me know. Facilities and gym floor. No tape of any kind or marker may be used on the gym floor. Old gym, new gym, memorial hall, any of those type of things. Please be careful when bringing anything on and off the court. Supervise students to make sure they're doing it properly. Just letting them do it is going to end up having problems as far as injuring the floor. Only gym shoes are allowed in the new gym floor. Please put everything away each night and lock the items up. Building security and preventing theft, lock all doors, and secure the buildings. Turn off the lights. Most of our lights are automatic now, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And the coach, or at least one of the coaches, should always be the last to leave. Washburn High School rules: attendance day of and day after the game. Well, the day of a game, you have to be there at least a half a day. And the day after the game, we want everyone to return to school. Our academic eligibility checks are Wednesday to Wednesday. You may not compete or leave school early on a team bus if you are academically ineligible. Students should contact all teachers of classes missed that day and responsible for all work. Be respectful of the in-season sports and activities. Out-of-season coaches shouldn't have open gyms, team activities, etc. with athletes that are in season in another sport. That's just a good general rule to make sure if a student wants to do another activity on their own, they need to talk to the coach that's in season. But the out-of-season coaches shouldn't be involved in that. Communication. Most of the coaches will have Remind, but some will have GroupMe. So every coach, as far as when it comes to varsity or when it comes to junior high, elementary, should have some sort of communication for the athletes and parents. It takes a very special athlete to be able to dual sport, and we found that out. When this does occur, the athlete must inform both head coaches which program will be the priority, and then it's up to the coaches from there on. It's not up to the students what they're going to do, and they should do the priority. Athletes participating in 2 sports or activities in the same season must pass all their classes. And again, if they are not passing, they are not allowed to do two sports. Students must have a form signed and handed in to the athletic director before the first competition. Practice odds and ends. Students need to be done and out of the building by 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Practices on Sundays are not allowed except with permission of the athletic director. A practice does not count unless it's a regularly scheduled and involves the entire coaching staff and team. Students are not permitted to stay after school until their practice begins unless it begins at 4 p.m. or earlier. In other words, we don't want a bunch of kids staying here for a 6 o'clock practice. They should be going home and then returning, unless they're working with a teacher, a specific teacher or coach. Sympathy groups, you'll see this in many different communities, and we just have to be wary about it, and we don't want to be a part of it. In many communities, there are parents and fans who gather to complain about the coach, team, refs, or other parents. These sympathy groups foster negativity and do not offer productive solutions to issues that are inevitably crop up during the season, and many times they try to get other coaches from other sports to be a part of these sympathy groups so they agree with them. So we want to make sure that we eliminate that as much as possible. Communication. As a group, we need to support each other. Please don't talk negatively about the school or other coaches in public. Don't talk about other athletes or parents with other athletes or their parents. Coaches and teaching is difficult and very time consuming, and everyone thinks they can do it better. Activity leaders and sports coaches have meetings and practices. Kids are being forced to pick sports or activities over band. We want to make sure we're supportive of all activities, not just sports. We want to make sure we're supportive of speech, drama, anything you can think of as far as band and music and DECA. And FHA, all of those type of things. We have to make sure all our activities are supported and we do it as a group. This is something, practices of any type during school time is not allowed unless it is a scheduled event. So in other words, if you bunch of kids have study hall, you can't take them out of study hall and have them practice. Camps. Coaches must either have liability insurance through the North Dakota Coaches Association or must run the camp and camp finances through the Washburn Public School. These changes are due to covering party liability insurance of NDIRF. Coaches must offer proof of insurance. All camps and materials related to camp should be advertised as Washburn Cardinal Camps, no other entity. Any camps or materials related to the camp that has other affiliations must be approved by the Washburn Athletic Director. Washburn Public School may charge rent at any individual putting on a camp. So in other words, there might be a situation where you put on a camp, and it'll be the same for everybody, that you might be charged a small amount of rent. The opportunity to participate on the Washburn Southern McLean team is a privilege and afforded to our student athletes by our community. Every student athlete, coach, and parent should aspire to represent Washburn, Wilton, Wing, whichever it may be, with excellence. We represent our community.